It's your girl, VK Jahannam, and I have been abusing caffeine. So, a couple months ago, I did a pathworking with Santa Muerte. That is to say, I focused all my personal workings, devotional practices, and prayers and meditations on Santa Muerte. She guided me to make my pathworking last 9 days long. I didn't know this at the time, but Mictlan, the Aztec underworld, is said to be divided into 9 different sub-regions. Numerology. Back when I first started working with her, I channeled that the sacred number best for working with her is 18. And of course, 8 plus 1 equals 9. Now, my pathworking did go a bit past the 9-day mark because I missed a meditation. So during this pathworking, Santa Muerte wanted me to understand why she's specific about which of her colors different devotees should approach. To my understanding, the general guidance is that people should start with the white-robed aspect and wait a while before they start working with the black-robed aspect. Now, I'm a Satanist, so I'm a bit different from most Santa Muerte devotees, partially because of my pre-established experience, beliefs, etc. When I first approached her, I didn't approach any colors. I channeled, some sigils and chants that can be used to just approach Santa Muerte. She comes in whichever color, like when those methods are used, she'll come in whichever color is best suited to the occasion. But after I had my initial experiences with her, which were being paid to channel her by a client, she told me that she wanted a deeper relationship with me, to be my primary divinity for my pursuits in necromancy and the death current. I accepted her as such, and she told me to get a statue, and specifically said to get the black-robed aspect. Now, there used to be this local botanica that I was a regular customer at, a spiritual shop, that was largely ran and staffed by Santa Muerte devotees. Now, the cashier I usually saw had some familiarity with me, so he trusted my know-how and ability. So when I told him that I wanted him to get me a black-robed statue, he didn't hesitate. He got me a big, fancy, black-robed statue of Santa Muerte and put it in the shop, and texted me once he had it. The cashier who was there the day I picked it up and bought it was like, you're supposed to start with the white-robed, right? I was like, I'm just doing what you told me to. So she had a specific color that she wanted me to start with. Later on, she would teach me protection spells that call on not only the black-robed aspect, but another one that calls on the white-robed aspect, and another that calls on the red-robed aspect. She has told me that every one of her colors has its own protective abilities. Those are the only 3 robes that I've ever worked with for protection. So, during this pathworking, she gave me new meditations, new sigils for the different robes, a ritual structure that I can use to call on any color. I just have to switch out certain magic words and chants depending on which color I'm calling. That's been wonderfully effective. During this time, I had something of a breakup. So I actually used the ritual structure I was given to call on La Niña Roja, the red-robed aspect, to heal my broken heart and heal the insecurities that can make me feel unworthy of love. Worked like a charm, and I wound up doing the same ritual for another friend of mine who had also just gone through a breakup. He reported very good results as well. Now, one time at that Botanica, Santa Muerte stopped me from buying a statue of her. I went there, I was the only customer there, and there was one cashier staffing the place, one I hadn't interacted with before. And I saw this beautiful green-robed statue of Santa Muerte that happened to be the perfect size to fit on my fairly crowded altar. I have one altar for everything. Like one specific altar that has the demons, Santa Muerte, Hecate, all of them on it. Except angels. Can't mix those with Mayor's Orion magic. I have a separate setup for angel magic. But yeah. So I pick up this little statue of Santa Muerte's green-robed aspect, and I start walking over to the cash register. As soon as I do that, the power goes out. Lights are off, cash register's off, all that in the blink of an eye. The cashier says he's never seen that happen before and says that he can't let customers remain in the store while the power is out. I drove home after putting the statue back on the shelf, and I had to drive for about 5 minutes before I saw a working stoplight, which was scary because it was also raining. Santa Muerte did this for 2 reasons. One, I was too focused on buying statues and jewelry related to her and not focused enough on actually deepening my relationship with her. The other reason is that it was not time for me to approach the green-robed aspect. During my path working, she allowed me to witness the different colored robes. I could see them, I could feel their energy. She showed me not only the white, red, and black that I already worked with, but also more obscure aspects like the brown-robed aspect, the pink-robed aspect, etc. So, the energies felt vastly different to me. Now, my reactions to these energies might not be the same as what your reactions may be. You know, some people say my energy makes them feel super uneasy and uncomfortable. Others say my energy makes them feel welcome and safe. Both parties are reacting to the same energy, mine. They're feeling the same shit and reacting to it differently. Now, since I'm a longtime Satanist, these aspects may feel different to me than they do to you. I'm just going to share my experience. To me, the black-robed aspect, its energy makes me feel kind of glad and positive. The pink-robed aspect, by contrast, makes me feel straight up like euphoric. The red-robed aspect makes me feel safe. The blue-robed aspect actually made me a bit uncomfortable at first, as energy. For some reason, the green-robed aspect felt the darkest and heaviest to me. La Niña Arcoiris, the rainbow aspect, the 7 colors, that one made me feel a bit overwhelmed at first. Like the energy was a lot. So she had me perform meditations with some of her different colors, told me which ones to do and which day. I also used a meditation that Disco Demonic Hydrophonic posted on his YouTube channel. It felt great. Yeah, it was just an overall wonderful experience. So, if you want to start working with Santa Muerte, I highly advise that you let her guide you to which robed aspects you should approach and when and how. Anyways, that's all for now. Have a great night and enjoy your immortality. Check out the link tree in the description below if you want a little more BK in your life.